If probiotics were people, most of them wouldn't survive breakfast. Honestly, it reminds me of one of those African folktales where a messenger runs 1,000 miles to go and deliver an important message, only to be eaten by a lion a few kilometers before getting the message home. Now, that is what happens to most probiotics. Full of purpose, but no protection. In other words, they die before they can even say hello to your gut. No wellness benefit delivered. But this story started in my own home with my daughter years ago when she was around 3 years old. I still remember. She was admitted with dehydration following a bout of gastro. You know that most parents, you always go through that. After discharge and following the instructions of the doctor, I went looking for the best probiotics money could buy, hoping that they'd restore her microbiome, her gut, and of course, her immunity. But after trying for almost like 2 weeks, nothing really worked. That's when I discovered the problem. That it's not because of the probiotics, because most probiotics were dead on arrival. They couldn't survive the journey through the stomach acid, and they definitely could not handle the heat and the humidity that they're exposed to on the shells. They need refrigeration. They need careful handling. You know, it's almost like taking care of a pet, not a supplement. And that was the frustration. The moment, as a father, that became the seed of Velobiotics. So I started looking around for a way to protect these fragile good bacteria so that they could survive and actually confer the health benefit. And that's when I came across the incredible scientists at CSIR, right here in South Africa. So together, we began testing technology called supercritical carbon dioxide microencapsulation. Now that sounds like a mouthful, you know, like from a sci-fi movie, but it's actually quite simple. We found a way to wrap each probiotic in a microscopic shield, you know, a natural protective shield, a layer that protects it from moisture, from oxygen, from heat, and yes, also from the deadly stomach acid. So it's like giving every probiotic a tiny suit of armor. So you shelter it from the rain, from the sun, from the storm, until it reaches the gut where it does its healing work. So after years of research and countless lab experiments, right here at CSIR in South Africa, the technology was proven. And Velobiotics officially licensed that technology. And that's how the world's first microscopulated probiotic was born. So that piece of science changed everything, every single thing. And today, our probiotics don't just survive, they thrive. They can handle a lot of heat of any summer, stay stable for years without refrigeration, and still deliver billions of live bacteria to the gut, alive, active, and effectively. So from that breakthrough, Velobiotics grew into what it is today. So we've got over 10 brands and more than 60 products, including Femina for women's health, Gut Slim for weight management, BioKit for children, Prebiotics for pregnancy supplements, Almasi for beauty. So we've got a lot of products out of that CSIR innovation. And because of our partnership, we've turned a small African lab idea into a global probiotic revolution, with products now sold in Clicks, in Dischem, in Kenya, in Amazon in the United States, and looking forward to launching in Europe as well. But this story isn't just about bacteria, it's about belief. It's a belief that right science can solve global problems. It's about what happens when curiosity meets courage, when we stop importing solutions and start creating our own. Next week at CSIR, we're going to be commissioning a new pilot plant for microencapsulation. And I can't help but feel proud, because this is not just a facility, it's a symbol. It's proof that right here in Africa, we can innovate, we can manufacture, and you can lead in biotech. So yes, if probiotics were people, most of them wouldn't survive breakfast. But ours, they've got armor, they've got attitude, and most importantly, they've got an African passport. At Velobiotics, we don't just make probiotics, we make them unstoppable. Because sometimes the biggest revolutions start with the smallest things. Even a dad a daughter, and a few determined bacteria.